Welcome, racing fans, to the Motorsports Radio Breakdown as we recap Saturday's Xfinity Series. Of course, Saturday a doubleheader, Xfinity Series in the afternoon, followed by some truck racing in the evening, and of course we'll have recap the truck race later on MR3. We do 3 shows on Monday, Cup Series, Xfinity, and trucks, of course. Unless Trucks takes the weekend off, then we got 2 shows, plus also a separate show for the full results, which we'll have that later on. And of course, you can listen streaming and on demand at motorsportsradio.net. We'll have all the on demand, the downloadables, I should say. We'll have that available by tomorrow morning between 10 and 11. So thank you very much for tuning in, and it was the Renai 250 in Atlanta. Pole sitter, a Cup driver, Kyle Busch, behind the wheel of the, you guessed it, the 18 car. A whole bunch of Cup drivers in last weekend's Xfinity Series race. Keselowski in the 22, who started third, and then we had Kyle Larson, who started in fourth with the 42 car, and then Denny Hamlin, number 20, he would start down in fifth, but the top 3 starting positions was occupied by Kyle Busch, William Byron, and Brad Keselowski, 18-9 in the 22. Race 1 of a double-header, double-decker stack of Saturday racing. Campbell Truck Series racing scheduled following after this event on Saturday. Also, Kevin Harvick was racing this one as well. He started in 12th in the 41 car. Green flag flies, and the Saturday showdown gets underway at 2:17 p.m. Eastern Saturday afternoon in ATL. Race number 2 in the second tier series of NASCAR. No double file here. The field spreading out into 2 wides and 3 wides over the right off the get-go. No restrictor plates here, and then we'll get the 11 and the 3 get connected, and this brings out the first caution of the afternoon, which was still lap 1. Actually, it was lap 2, actually. Ty Dillon in the 3 gets loose smokes and drops down to the apron and gets the 11. Blake Koch, of course, going to get... the 11 gets into the 3. No fault of the 11 driver. No lead changes. Right at the moment, Keselowski would climb up to second, though, for this first restart. And there was a piece of wood out there that got stuck under the number 3 car as he was coming back out. I don't know where that came from, if you saw that. But that was interesting. Kyle Busch in the lead, Keselowski second, and Denny Hamlin in third. And the green flag is in the air, and we get back to racing at lap 7. It's nice to see some non-restrictor plate racing, and I said this once before already, but Keselowski... at lap 8, rocketing past Kyle Busch to take the lead. Blake Koch and Ty Dillon, they would actually wind up dropping out. So there's that. But William Byron in 5th, down to 5th. Kyle Larson down in 8th. And then lap 20 would start the second half of stage 1. 40 laps in stage 1, 40 in stage 2. And I guess it's getting a lot of buzz, the stage racing. I think I'm starting to like it. I was a little weary at first when I heard about it before the season started, but I'm starting to get into it. So I'm very interested in what folks out there have to say about it, but I think we got a little something going this year. The last race on Atlanta is Old Pavement, repaving in store for Atlanta. Some really fast racing on Saturday, and don't get me wrong, Daytona's fast, but restricted plate racing, you got that double file going on. But it looked to me like these cars were flying, maybe because they were so spread out. You get a different kind of feel for it. But Kevin Harvick works his way up to third, making the top 3. Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick right now in the second half of stage 1, 22-18-41. Brandon Pulpit's just 3 laps shy of the end of stage 1, and that's the 48 car. He comes into pit lap 38. Close call because pit road would have been closed at lap 39. At the last 2 laps of each stage, pit road is closed. But then we reached lap 40 and the end of stage 1 with the all-new green-white checkered in the air alongside a caution flag, because that counts as a caution as well, so this would be caution number 2 also. And then Brad Keselowski, driver of the double 2 on Saturday, would be the winner of stage number 1. Top 5, stage 1 finishers here. Brad Keselowski for the win. Kyle Busch would finish in second. Kevin Harvick third. Denny Hamlin in fourth. And Daniel Hemrick in fifth. That's the 22, 18, 21, 40, and the 21. Of course, Daniel Hemrick also was driving the 21 in the Campbell Truck Series last year. Stage 2, note that Cup drivers cannot claim points in Xfinity Series because they claim points in the Cup Series. So Daniel Hemrick, however, gets 6 points. Keselowski, so he was the first Xfinity driver across the line, so he gets 6 points, which I don't know if he should have gotten the 10 points, though, because he was the first Xfinity driver. It's kind of right, but he would get 6 points from this one. And then we get back to green to start stage number 2. This would be at lap 48. Keselowski in front on the inside, 22, 18, 41 top 3 to start stage number 2. And then we get a battle for the lead. 18 going after that double 2 as the 2017 Ford Toyota battle continues. And I think we're going to see a lot of it this year. Just like that, we get halfway through stage 2, and even though there was a battle for the lead between Keselowski and Kyle Busch, it was Kevin Harvick that gets by to become the new race leader, now with 15 to go, and then Keselowski, he would wind up dropping down to second, and Kyle Busch will drop down to third, but Harvick with a 1.5 second lead on Keselowski at lap 68, and then which would grow to a full 2 seconds at lap 70, and then 2.5 seconds at lap 72. Top 5 occupied by Cup drivers on the stage as the stage 2 winds down, but Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin running 4th and 5th respectively, lap 76. But man, Kevin Happy Harvick putting 4 seconds on Keselowski. The Ford Toyota battle, now Ford battle, and then lap 80, the green white checkered in the air one more time, and this would end stage number 2. The 62 mowing the infield lawn, if he saw that on contact with the outside wall, and then drops down to the infield grass area as the rest of the field is crossing the start-finish line. Kevin Harvick becomes the stage 2 winner. Top 5 finishes: Harvick for the win, Keselowski second, Kyle Busch third, Kyle Larson 4th, and Denny Hamlin 5th. 41, 22, 18, 42, and the 20 by William Byron, the first Xfinity Series driver to cross the line. He's finished in 6th. End of stage 2 also counts as the third caution. I don't think we got to keep repeating that. I think everyone has that down pat. But the start of stage number 3, that would come at lap 89. Kevin Harvick still up front, Keselowski in second, and in third was Denny Hamlin. Kyle Busch, he dropped down to 5th. And now the Mustang battle continues now in the last leg of Saturday's Atlanta Sizzle. Kyle Larson now up to 3rd. Denny Hamlin, he drops down to 7th. So now we got the 41, 22, and the 42 making up the top 3 at lap 93. Lap 103, Denny Hamlin having some issues with that 20 car, man, tire issue. He had to go down the pit road. But Hamlin comes back out and then would drop down to 18th, also 1 lap down, but in the lucky dog spot. But in the front of the field, Kevin Harvick now putting a 3.7 second lead on Keselowski at lap 111. Lap 113, a full 4 seconds, and now entering the final 50 as the field starts getting into some lap traffic. See, that's another thing that you get when you don't have restricted plate racing. You get the leaders getting into lap traffic, right? But now you got to watch out, because even though you're going past the guy that's running in 40th or whatever, you make contact with that guy, he could end your day pretty quickly. So that makes negotiating through lap traffic a little risque, but it also gives you a lot of distance between the rest of the field. Lap 118, we got caution number 4, and this is for Denny Hamlin. A spin and smoke for the 20. Now, he went in the pit road the first time for, he had some tire issues, okay? And it looks like that tire issue did in that 20. Don't damage our contact with any other car, so which was good. 29 laps of green flag racing prior to this caution. A whole bunch of penalties. The 40 car, number 40 team, which I forget who drove the 40 car, over the wall too soon. Then the 00, man, too many crew members. 00 driven by another Camping World Truck Series driver from last year, Cole Custer. So remember, only 7. It was 6. They missed the 7. Did they switch it back to 6? Oh, it's 6. No, it is 7. I think they switched it last year. I don't know if they switched it back to the 6, but also Denny Hamlin pitting too soon. He gets popped as well. Remember, pit road gets closed once the caution comes out. Give time for the cars to get set up and the officials to make sure that what position all the drivers are in, and then they open up pit road and everyone can come in. There's that light. Remember that little light right there? Lets people know that pit road is closed. And if you're wondering what the green light on the back of the pace car is, right where your brake light would be in the window there, there's that green light that lights up. That is actually communicating to the drivers that pit road is now open. So a little factoid right there. The lucky dog in this one would be Ty Dillon in the number 3. Kevin Harvick maintains first place. Kyle Larson moves up to second. Elliott Sadler now moves up to third. Keselowski dropped down to fourth as we get back to green for this one at lap 123. Now starting off the final 40. Lap 124, a new leader, Kyle Larson. And then Kyle Busch would pass Harvick to take second. Now we have Larson, Busch, Kevin Harvick top 3 now. But then we get caution number 5, lap 142 for fluid on the track from the 78 car, 78 driver, Clint King. Close call for Harvick and Larson. Harvick gets very close to Kyle Larson coming out of his pit box. But then we get back to green, lap 147. Kyle Rowdy Busch now in front, leading the field into the restart. Kevin Harvick drops down to 4th. Larson second, Keselowski third, and now we are in the last 15 of this Saturday afternoon event. And now the Toyota-Ford battle resumes. This time the Ford chasing the Toyota. Kevin Harvick having some issues. He would drop down to 6th. And then we get Bubba Wallace Jr., driver of the number 6 car. He breaks into the top 5, now inside of the last 10. And Kyle Busch in front with just 1/2 second on Keselowski. But then we get to lap 158, and then this would be the final 5. The start of the final 5. Final 5, top 5, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Kevin Harvick back up into 4th, and running 5th, Elliott Sadler. Keselowski dishing through lap traffic, still chasing that 18 car, but a lot of energy in that 18 NOS Energy Camry, man. White flag in the air, lap 162, seal the deal, lap 163, and the winner of the Renai 250, Kyle Busch. And yes, I gave it a post-race burnout rating of an A+. If I see that stream of smoke there look like the space shuttle, that's an automatic A. And it's the thickness of the smoke that gives it the A+. So that's how that rolls. Sometimes you get no smoke at all. If you hear Joey Logano when he does his little figure 8 out there, I can't count that as a burnout, but Kyle Busch, A+, and that's the Motorsports Radio post-race burnout rating. Top 5 finishes on Saturday. Kyle Busch for the win. Keselowski comes in second. Kyle Larson third. Kevin Harvick fourth, and coming in fifth, it's Elliott Sadler, 18, 22, 42, 41, and the 1. Motorsportsradio.net race info, advertised laps 163, actual 163, stages 1 and 2, 40 laps each, and stage 3 is 83 laps. So we do this thing called actual laps. So the advertised laps would be 163, but if it went to go over, let's say in overtime, then the actual laps would be either whatever. So they raced 163, so the actual laps and advertised laps are the same. That's a little thing we're doing, messing around. And then 5 questions, 6 lead changes, fastest lap 179.5, 74 miles per hour. And then the best lap was at 37.15 seconds. Now the next Xfinity Series race is on Saturday, March 11th at 4 p.m. Eastern in Las Vegas. And we're going to have the full schedule. We do it on Thursdays, weekend edition. We do the racing schedule, racing news, penalties. A whole ton of penalties came out already. A bunch of violations came out, which was reported today from Xfinity and the Cup drivers. So now we're just waiting to see what the penalties are for those. But thank you for tuning in from the Skybox Podcast Center. This is Manny Allegretta, and this is the home of Motorsports Talk, man. That's right, motorsportsradio.net.